So the Jar Jar Binks event is live and we're going to go over how you can get this character unlocked. Warning, at this point of time, this is the 5th of the 8th, or the 8th of the 5th, or you know what I mean. It's the 5th. The event tier 1 is currently bugged. You might want to wait until it's been addressed and fixed by CG. But we can still get it done, even in the current bugged state. It's just going to take modding, approach, and a lot of luck. Alright, let's do this. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to go over the modding for this event real quick. It's very important with the current bugged status of tier 1. So, Boss Nass, I have got him at 347 speed. In particular, he needs to go after your Phalanx and after your Bombardier. You need your Bombardier going first, which means you do need him to be relatively fast, and your Tarpals should be slower than him. So, my Bombardier over here is 350 speed. It doesn't have to be this fast, you just have to make sure first turn goes to Bombardier, then it goes to Tarpals, then it will go back to Bombardier because of that frenzy, and then you'll be Boss Nass last. So my Tarpals over here is 331, and then speed is of the essence, guys. Just mod your characters for speed and protection. You do not need offense, you do not need potency. 330 speed on Phalanx. Okay. Hope that's good. Let's start breaking down the tiers. So tier 1 is bugged, guys. We should be getting 15 stacks of this plasma shielding, and we're not. So my approach will work when it's at 15 stacks. It'll work very tentatively, like 2% of the time otherwise. Don't blame me, blame CG. So turn order is important. Bombardier needs to call in our Phalanx at the start, okay? We want to pass over to Phalanx so we can use that first special to get that provoked up. After that, we're just looking to spread damage around, try to bring everybody down at sort of an even keel, all right? AoEs here, lovely jubbly, and then we're going to get that retribution up from Boss Nass. Then it's AoEs from Jar Jar. Jar Jar will use basic and AoEs and nothing else, okay? Phalanx will use basic and his first special. Sorry, Phalanx will use all abilities. Tarpals will use basics and first specials, okay? Never use that second special from Tarpals. You do not want to get provoked up on the enemy. You want to be able to counterattack every unit, so we don't just focus down on one at a time, okay? If you focus down on one, unfortunately, they will have too many stacks for you to try and defeat at the end of the round, once you've lost that shield generator. Alright, so who's got the highest stacks right now? 267, let's just basic this individual. And just basic over here. Wonderful. There's those counterattacks. In an ideal world, we managed to get the enemy down sort of to about 150 stacks before we lose our shield generator. Now, I know the likelihood of that is incredibly slim, but that's what we're going for at the moment. Excuse me. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so things are looking a little bit iffy-squiffy right about now. Let's go ahead and use that special there. We've lost our shield generator now, and the enemy has too many stacks, truth be told. Far too many stacks. We did actually get a bonus turn out of Jar Jar Binks there. The actual 1% chance, I think it is, to actually land. And it looks like the enemy's going to get most of their turns out. Let's look to decrease those 201 stacks. Alright, so we're going to start off our run here, and we are going to, unfortunately, we are going to be missing out on 5 stacks of plasma shielding. We should have 15 stacks. We don't know why. It's just bugged. Blame CG, don't blame me. So, Horn of Otogunga passed the turn over to Phalanx, then Phalanx is going to use his AoE special to get that provoked up on the enemy team. After this, we're just going to look to spread some of this damage around, and then AoE out of Tarpals. Get some of that AoE damage, and then we're going to get Retribution up, so we're going to start counterattacking. AoEs out of Jar Jar, and basics out of Jar Jar. Those are the only specials that we're going to be using out of him. Do not use his second special, we need to keep on doing AoE damage. Okay, so let's have a look. Go to the unit with the highest stacks, and you want to use a special. There we go. And then we just want our counterattacks to do all of the heavy lifting for us. Counterattacks do the heavy lifting. Remember, we only ever want to use basics with Jar Jar. Alrighty. So our counterattacks are going to be doing the lion's share of the work here. All those counterattacks, that's what we're looking for. Counterattacks and counterattacks and counterattacks. Alright, okay. So we don't want to use the call to assist. Never use that second special, guys. because that's going to cause us to taunt and only focus on the main unit, and that means we won't strip off enough stacks of all the enemy units so that we can't actually clear through effectively, essentially. Okay, target highest stacked unit with the specials. Try and whittle them down as much as possible. Counterattacks. So that unit is on really low stacks now, which is great. We've got 3 left on the shield generator at the moment. Go ahead, bring them all down. If you can get everybody sort of below 150 stacks before you lose that shield generator, you might find yourself in good enough position to clear out. Always use that first special from Boss Nass if you have the occasion, because those counterattacks is what wins matches here. Now we just have to hope that we can clear through these units as quickly as possible. AoEs when we can. Come on, we need those counterattacks, baby. Jar Jar Binks, I need you to counterattack as well, buddy. Go on. That's the way, buddy. That's the way. Alright, so who's got the higher stacks right now? We want to target people with the provoked stacks as well. This guy over here. Just so that they get that counterattack and lose additional units. Come on. Come on. Right, okay. I might... Yeah, we're going to point over here. Just to try and see if we can get rid of this individual. Beautiful, 1 down. That should be 2 down. Absolutely use the AoE here. 84 stacks over there. They are slowly getting whittled down. We need those counterattacks, baby. Come on. Okay, we're going to pass the turn back over to Boss Nass. Very important that you go to Boss Nass, guys. Boss Nass, of course, does give us the opportunity to try and get round to the... thing again. So this guy's only got 13 stacks, so I'm going to call the assist. Actually, because we've got the frenzy over here on Gungan Boomadeer, I'm actually going to use the special here from Boss Nass just to trigger that. It didn't actually trigger it, but we should be okay here. There we go. And it's incredibly difficult to get that done, guys. It's incredibly rare. Have to have the modding exactly as I've had them, okay? That should get it done, though. Tier 2, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick this off. We're here against 2 Staps, a Droidica, and 2 rounds of B1s. We've got to take the same sort of approach as we used to take in this particular battle. I'm going to start off with a nice little AoE here, coming out of our Mr. Jar Jar Binks. He is going to evade all the attacks, and we need to focus on getting rid of that Droidica as soon as possible. So I want to get that Retribution up on the enemy, that Provoke, on the enemy, so that they'll constantly counterattack and deal some additional damage to themselves. But again, Droidica is the main focus here, so let's go ahead and call in our good boy Boss Nass at all opportunities, and then we want to pass turns back and forth with our boy Tarples over here. Alright, so we've got the ability block off from Droidica as well. Once again, we need to make sure that we do not lose the stacks of the shield generator. Let's keep on focusing on this Droidica right now. Good, good, good. And what are we looking for here? I don't actually want to do any of that business. Let's do that AoE over here. We're doing good damage on the Droidica at the moment, so we want to try and keep that flowing. We're looking for a nice bit of RNG coming out of our Jar Jar Binks to land a death mark, hopefully, on the Droidica. Getting the death mark on the Droidica makes our lives quite a lot easier. Let's see if we can get that. Okay, we got a death mark on the Stap. That's still not terrible. Losing the Phalanx is not ideal, though. Losing Phalanx is definitely not ideal. Not what we're really looking to have happen over here. Right, okay, let's call in our good man Boss Nass at all opportunities, going after that Stap, because that's the guy we've got the opportunity to destroy. Come on, nice big AoEs. Good AoEs coming out of the units there. So wave 2 is a little bit different. Instead of all B1 stacks, we've got 2 stacks of B1s, we've got a Droidica and 2 Staps. So the setup is a little bit different. But ultimately, we're still going to approach it very, very similarly. We want to try and get rid of the Droidica's damage immunity as soon as possible, obviously, so we need to get round to Boss Nass with his second special. That's going to cleanse that off. After this, there's a little bit of RNG. We want to try and land a death mark out there on the units. If not, just focus in on the Droidicas. He might be a little bit difficult to take out, so let's actually focus on getting rid of the Staps over here. The stacks of the B1, not the Staps, on the B1. Nice AoE focus over here. Let's just keep on working on those guys. As long as you can survive that big hit from Droideka, you should be okay. Let's get the AoE up. That Retribution is actually really, really useful for us. Let's actually call in, get that provoke, get that marked, sorry, on that B1, just so that we can focus down on him with any of our counterattacks. Just going to do a basic here, hopefully land some Death Mark. Death Mark on the Droideka is what we want, but it looks like he's going to take a turn before we actually get to do any damage to him. That's a real shame. That is a real shame. Let's keep on focusing on the B1 then. AoEs. Lovely jubbly. Alright. Yep, absolutely. Let's get that Retribution up, and we can get the crit hit guarantee with that Vulnerable. Lovely. So I want to try and get rid of these stacks of this B1 as soon as possible. That's going to lower the tenacity on the enemy team and also stop a source of their AoE damage. Alright, basics. Let's hope for some death marks. Actually, it was just a mass assist because we were blinded. Counterattacks are still good. We're going to get rid of this one stack of B1. There we go. That's going to make life a little bit easier. It's okay. Don't worry too much about that. Let's go over here and, yeah, sure. We're going to pass over to Boss Nass right now. Passing over to Boss Nass. Ooh, that Retribution is absolutely huge. That's going to be really, really good damage now for us. Probably should have focused down on those steps instead. Just because if they're counterattacking us, then they're going to be losing quite a bit of stats. Thanks to the max health damage that we put out. So, come on. Let's go ahead and just poke some fun at this Stap over here. Try to get him to counterattack us. Big, big damage coming out there. AoEs as well. Come on, counterattack us. That's the way. That's the spirit. Okay, so round 2, there's a couple of ways we can get this done. We can hope for a lucky death mark early on with our good boy Jar Jar Binks, or we can just try to focus down and get a load of that Retribution out on the enemy. So at the start, if you do happen to land some good debuffs on Droideka, do highly recommend you use a basic over here just to try and focus him down. If you can get rid of him early, incredibly useful, but it's not always going to happen, unfortunately. Let's just see how we get on here. What I do recommend is if you get the turn meter right, you want to pass over to your boy Phalanx. Getting to Phalanx early is really useful because Phalanx using his first special over here will get the incredibly useful Provoked debuff. This means that whenever we attack them, they're going to counterattack us, and when they counterattack us, they're going to take lots of max health damage, which just lets us tear through them at such a quick pace. So 100% try to focus down one of the steps, one at a time, with that Provoked, because that counterattack damage to themselves, look how quickly they lose their max stacks. Absolutely incredibly valuable. And that should be like the easiest way, I would say, of getting through this wave. Let's have a look over here. Yeah, let's just point our fingers at him, get rid of that one stap. If only we could have gotten round to that other step in time, so I'm just going to use the AoE here rather than the basic. They need to have more than one debuff on them for us to benefit from Death Mark, unfortunately. So let's just keep things focused right now. Focus on the B1 stacks for the minute, not the steps. And yeah, focus on B1 stacks at the moment until we can get round to another Provoke out of our good boy, Mr. Phalanx. Alright, I'm going to do basics here, hopefully get some Death Marks out. Nope, not this time. Counterattacks, super, super valuable, as we learned in Phase 1. Counterattacks, super, super valuable. Nearly gotten rid of one stack of these B1s. After that, life just gets easier and easier and easier. Nice counterattacks on that Stap. And then big heal. Let's pass the turn back over to our man Phalanx, so we can hopefully get round to another AoE with that Provoke. Then we're going to focus down on the Stap, hopefully getting Stap to counterattack and deal enough damage to himself. Yeah, let's get this AoE out, hopefully land some debuffs, and then we're just going to call in that assist. Come on, get the counterattacks. There we go, he's taking that max health damage. Stap stays are numbered, and we got rid of that B1 stack, so we're okay now. I would say put it on full auto, but we can't put it on auto at this point, so it's just going to be a case of slowly but surely chewing through the stacks of this B1 now. Should be absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. 230 stacks. It does take a short while, but he should no longer have a reliable source for dealing enough damage to us now. We should be able to kill through these stacks relatively quickly at this point. All of the counterattacks in the world. Beautiful. That's why I really, really enjoy having that Retribution up on this team. Boss Nass's first special, getting that Retribution up, is incredibly valuable. Let's keep passing back and forth now. 94 stacks. We're nearly down here. We're nearly down. 86. Gets that counter-attack. He's going to lose those stacks. Let's get the retribution up across the board. And just basics. Oh, we even got a death mark on. Death mark should let us remove an additional unit there. There we go. 38. 30. This one's going to get rid of all of those stacks, I think. There we go. So, wave 2. Not too difficult overall. Alrighty, so tier 3 then. We're up against multiple Droidicas this time and 2 stacks of those B1s. Really not so bad. Once again, I'm going to pass the turn over to our Phalanx. I want to get that provoked up on the enemy as soon as possible. I find the provoked is the most reliable source of damage, and we're just going to focus on one of those Droidicas that does not have damage immunity. Alright, 2 of them got damage immunity. We just need a turn with Boss Nass now to get rid of some of those stats. Okay, we're going to use a basic here with Jar Jar Binks. Get that mass assist. It's going to get rid of that. And the death mark, that's exactly what you're looking for. Basics with Jar Jar Binks will make this so much easier for you. I'm just going to point and call in our good man, Mr. Boss Nass, to get extra assists out. And then Boss Nass can go ahead and just dispel those buffs. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Let's have a look. Yep, we're just going to basic here. Lovely jubbly. Now, we do want to get some luck here and land some additional death marks on these Droidicas. They are going to be a little bit of a problem otherwise. Basics over here for the mass assists. Okay, our Phalanx is still standing strong right now. I'm going to go ahead and use the second special over there, hopefully to land some debuffs. No such luck this time. Yep, absolutely. AoE, get the stuns out. Wonderful. Those Droidicas are looking a little bit dangerous right about now. Droidicas are looking dangerous. Keep on trying to work down one of those stacks of B1s. Let's see, yeah, let's get the retribution up across the board. That should really help us with the counterattacks. Yeah, get the extra stacks down. If we can get rid of one stack of the B1s, it should make our lives a lot easier. Always going to call in Boss Nass here with this assist from Tarples just to get the additional stack dead. AoE here, no point trying to do that basic. Okay, great. We've gotten rid of one stack of the B1s. It should get a bit easier now. Hopefully, we just need to land some debuffs on the enemy team. Getting some debuffs on the enemy team will make it easier. Give us the opportunity to get the death mark out on those Droidicas. They need 2 debuffs in order for this to work. So let's see. Do we get lucky? We did get the death mark. Come on, 1 tap. Counter attack, 2 tap. Nearly had him. Nearly had him. Let's do another basic here. No death marks that time, unfortunately. And then a full heal coming out of that B1. That is rude, sir. That is so rude. I'm going to pass this back and forth over here with our good man Phalanx. I like having Phalanx's ability to put that guaranteed critical hit out to guarantee getting the provoked as well so that we can deal additional damage here. Absolutely. AoEs whenever we can. Wonderful. And get the retribution up. Alright, so basics, come on, give us that death mark. No death mark this time. No death mark this time, unfortunately. Come on. There we go. Oh, I probably should have basicked the other Droidica there just to get rid of that DI. That was probably a silly mistake. Bye, your boy Scribble. Come on. Unfortunately, that B1 stack keeps on fully healing up their Droidicas. We need to get that death mark out. Alright, I see how they're going to be. They're just going to be irritating, so let's just focus down on the B1 stacks then. If they don't want to play nice, we're just going to have to take this opportunity to kill all the B1 stacks before we focus on the rest of the Droidicas. If you can get lucky with this and get some good death marks on the Droidicas out the gate, it does make it easier, but if not, if you're struggling, just get rid of those B1s. That will get rid of their ability to heal up. And without the ability to heal up, it does become a lot easier. So, boom. It also gets rid of a bunch of tenacity from the enemy units as well. Let's see. Now, I want to keep that blind right now on Jar Jar Binks, just so we can call the extra assists. We've lost our shield Jenny now, but it should be okay. Passing back and forth here. Wonderful. Yeah, let's just point our finger. There we go. 1 gone. AoE. No such luck. Extra damage. And hopefully land a death mark. We're not getting much luck here. We're landing the death mark and then they're taking a turn immediately afterwards. So let's hopefully still land a death mark here somewhere. We need to get some debuffs on the enemy team for this to really work. There we go. Let's see how we get on. No, unfortunately the guy with the most health doesn't have the necessary debuffs. Just going to keep focusing on one unit at a time here. Just one droidica at a time. Now we need to wait for Boss Nass to get round to another big special. The taunt with the damage immunity is frustrating, obviously. Come on, let's be dealing with you. Okay, there we go. We'll get rid of it. Get a bunch of debuffs out. And then I'm going to focus on this droidica. So hopefully when we get a turn with Jar Jar Binks, he'll get the death mark on the other droidica. Let's see how we get on. Oh, not quite lucky enough, but looks like we do eventually get rid of the droidicas. Okay, there we go. Not too bad in the end. In the end, we just had to take out that other... we just had to take out the other stack of B1s just to really drive it home, as it were. Alright, yeah, let's get the Retribution up. He's about to go into damage immunity, but we should be able to just counteract that with some, with a little bit of luck. Still no death mark. Still no death mark. Not getting any luck with the death marks here at the moment. Let's get the vulnerable up. Point our finger. Nearly there, nearly through this wave. Extra damage here coming out of the debuffs. There we go. Okay, and that's tier 3. A little bit frustrating. If you get some lucky death marks, this wave can go incredibly quickly. Using those basics when the enemy with the healthiest, the most amount of health and protection will get death mark if they've got at least 2 debuffs. So, going into tier 4 then, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to find ourselves coming in and facing off against Darth Maul. I find the intro here just absolutely hilarious. Jar Jar Binks having a very natural reaction to seeing a Sith Lord. Just like, not today. Thank you kindly. So this battle takes a long time, and I've heard some people say that this one is also a little bit bugged, alright? If that is the case, then you'll have to use the basic with Boss Nass on his first special, okay? So I'm going to use Horn of Otoh Gunga at the start. Once again, I'm going to pass it over to Phalanx, and Phalanx is going to get that taunt up. I'm going to keep that taunt up at all times. After that, you're just going to spam specials here, guys, and you should be okay. Spam specials, spam specials. Just call in Boss Nass when you get the opportunity, because that is going to give us the opportunity to call in additional people to assist. AoEs, doing all that damage. Now, Darth Maul will take a while to chew through, but that's just the way it is. Have to use that first special with Boss Nass, obviously, to try and get rid of any days that you have, get Retribution up, all that sort of good business. Doesn't matter how much you mod your characters for, guys, you will definitely, unfortunately, get the... you will definitely get those stacks of days. You cannot resist them. So what we need to do is we need to build up the stacks of strength and shields, guys. Once that's up to 3, Darth Maul can no longer... Okay, looking at tier 4 then, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be facing off against Darth Maul. Alright, so tier 4 then, we're going to be facing off against Darth Maul, and the idea is we want to try and get the enhanced plasma shielding available on our shield generator. So we're going to pass the turn over to Phalanx again, and we're just going to use that first special to get Retribution up. Then we're going to go ahead and throw specials around willy-nilly. What we want to do is just use our specials as much as possible, get that Retribution going, and every time we get rid of all of the stacks of that recharge off of our shield generator, it's then going to go ahead and get that stack of improved shield generator, I think it's called, something like that. So use your specials to try and burn through all this, and we should quickly enough get those stacks that we're looking for. Wait for it. I don't know why we didn't get one on the first time. There we go, there we go. We've got it over here, and as you can see, that little shield icon, strength and shields, we need to get that up to 3 stacks. So you need to be able to burn through all your specials as quickly as possible. All of the specials as quickly as possible. Call in Boss Nass with Tarpals to get the extra assist. Use all the specials that you possibly can just to try and get through those stacks of shield generator. You shouldn't really be in much trouble of losing units or dying or anything like that. It's just a case of spamming specials as much as possible to get rid of Darth Maul. It will stop him from getting the It'll stop him from getting any additional max health, and it'll stop him from actually recovering once you've got those triple stacks, okay? So just all the specials in the world will get you done. It just takes a little while because he does have a stupid amount of max health. A real stupid amount of max health. And you can't really mod for enough tenacity to resist that daze. He will always land those days no matter what. Alrighty, so we're getting there slowly but surely. We've got the 2 stacks of shield generator on the improved shielding, whatever it is. Nearly up there to the 3 stacks. I believe as soon as we get the turn with the shield generator now, we should get up to the triple stacks. There we go, triple stacks is done. Unfortunately, we can't put this on full auto. You do have to just spam buttons. But that is the way it is. It's not too difficult of a mission, this one. So let's get that retribution up at all times. I should be calling in that special. I don't know why I'm not. And spam specials with our good boy, Mr. Jar Jar Binks as well. All of the specials in the world. Absolutely. Darth Maul will just constantly cleanse himself as well, guys. So there is that. Pass it back over to Boss Nass at all opportunities so we can try and loop back around and get rid of that daze. It will unfortunately just take a while to chew through. So just keep spamming specials and we'll come back to you later on. Just about getting Darth Maul now into the red. It does take a little bit of time. Unfortunately, guys, like I said, he is just a massive stack of health right now. But eventually you will chew through him. It's not actually a difficult phase, I feel. Not actually a difficult phase. Alright, and that should be that. I said Darth Maul, that should be that. Darth Maul, that should be that, damn it. Darth Maul just being a chonky boy. Alright, good. There we go. We've got that done. We've got that done right here, right now. Okay, so final tier then, ladies and gentlemen. We want to have the opportunity to get some good death marks. If we get a nice early death mark on these droidicas or the staps or anything like that, clear out the units very quickly. That's exactly what we're looking to try and do, okay? So let's see how we get on. Getting rid of the staps and the droidicas, like I said, is the chief priority. We're going to pass the turn over to Boss Nass over here just so that we can get that taunt removal, the damage immunity removal, and then focus in on those units over there. Get rid of them as soon as possible. Absolutely call the mass assist. Beautiful. Wave 1 is really not so bad. You just want to go through it and finish up with as many stacks on that shield generator as possible. Alright. Now what I do recommend is that you try to get this marked out of tarpals at the start. The marked out of tarpals at the start will just mean that when we get our counter attacks, they're all going to go in on that one stack, and that's going to make our lives a little bit easier to chew through these units quickly. So when they start doing their AoEs, we're just going to go all in and try to get rid of that one big stack of B1s nice and quickly. Just like that. That's what we're looking for. Chew through those stacks very, very quickly. Always passing the turn back to Boss Nass if we can. Only use basics and his first special in this first wave. Spamming specials is a good thing. There we go. So just the one stack of those B1s left now. Absolutely get that retribution up. You can spam all the specials with Jar Jar Binks that you like. That's going to help keep that shield generator nice and healthy. Don't mind the provoke either. It's just calling the extra assist, always targeting Boss Nass. And then just basics and first special with Boss Nass, as we said before. Try to reset the cooldowns on the rest of your units going into the next wave, just to make your life a little bit easier. In particular, you want to try and have that taunt available on your phalanx going into the next wave, okay? Let's just point the finger. Just a basic, just a basic, just a basic. Should be okay here. Just a basic, and that should be the end of this wave. Okay, great. So going into wave 2, it's a little bit different. We're going to face off originally against the B1 stack, a droidica, and a Newt Gunray. Now, if you can get very lucky, you might be able to get a provoke out on that droidica and destroy him very quickly. Pass the turn over to your phalanx and use that first special to get that provoke out, okay, straight away. Use a basic with Jar Jar Binks, hopefully get a death mark. Death mark landed on Newt. That's not the worst thing in the world, I guess. You really want it on the droidica. If droidica goes into that shield generator stance, always get rid of the expose. Use Boss Nass's second special to get rid of that damage immunity. If you can't get an early taunt, I highly recommend just going all in on the B1s, guys. So don't use that second special out of Tarpals, because that's going to force you to attack the Newt, and we don't want to do that. We're just going to go ahead and constantly keep off exposes, not exposes, you know what I mean, extortion, and go all in on this B1 unit. All in on the B1 unit. AoEs is okay. Mass assist, just try and get rid of these units. Definitely try and focus down that B1 stack. 200 stacks at the minute. Passing the turn back over to Boss Nass when we can. Point the finger at that B1. Again, you don't want to call in the assist with Tarpals just yet. You do not want to be forced into attacking Newt Gunray. Always, always, always save that second special from Boss Nass for when you need to cleanse off the damage immunity on the Droidica. Keep the taunt up on Phalanx. It's very important. Even though, you know, he just immediately cleansed it and caused us issues there. Now, unfortunately, we do have the death mark on Newt once again. Oh, it's cleansed already. That's good. Yeah, let's go ahead and use this first special over here. Second special, sorry. Yeah, we'll use the AoE. Get some good damage out. Basics, we've nearly got rid of that B1 stack. Alright, now we want to try and focus exclusively on the Droidica. So let's get rid of all the nastiness. AoEs out of Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, we can go ahead and use the second special. Get that... Ooh, this is real good. We can pass over here. Hopefully we should be able to go ahead and get rid of this Droidica now. Droidica is gone. Now, when we attack this Newt Gunray at this point, we are going to get a respawn of units. When we take away all his health, he is going to respawn some units. So focus him down, but be prepared for that resummon. Definitely get rid of all of that. There we go. So he's respawned a Droidica at this point. We do want to get rid of that Droidica, so once again, do not use that taunt, that provoke ability, or the second special from Tarpals. Get the taunt up at all times. Save Boss Nass's second special, guys. Save that special. Pass the turn back over to Boss Nass. Boss Nass is going to go ahead and cleanse our debuffs. Big hits over on the Droidica, please. Huge. AoEs coming out of Jar Jar Binks. We don't want to use that basic because I don't want to risk having the... don't want to risk having that provoke. A death mark, rather. Alright, good stuff. We should be able to kill the Droidica here. Oh, not quite. But he's ability blocked, so he can't roll up. Point the finger. Come on. Droidica, will you die already? There we go. So when it gets down to just Newt, after you've already killed him once, it should be a walk in the park. Anything, just spam buttons now, and you should be able to win. And that is going to be the entire event done and dusted, guys. Should be relatively straightforward at this point. Come on. Just finishing off this Newt Gunray right about now. Spam those specials, baby. Newt Gunray is not long for this world, and that will be your Jar Jar Binks unlocked. Passing turns back to Boss Nass. Anything really works at this point. Unfortunately, we just can't go full auto. And there we have it, guys. Newt Gunray is done, and the Jar Jar Binks event is finally complete. And you've got a full team of Gungans, so you can do that galactic challenge now. Your boy Scribble says you are welcome. Make sure you do go ahead and hit that like button and consider subscribing to your boy Scribe. And I'll see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.